Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video of Football with Moche. Today we're going to talk about what is looming on the horizon. Is it looming or is it already here? Because the Champions League is here, baby. Yes, the Champions League is here. The playoffs are here. And of course, we have very interesting fixtures tomorrow and Wednesday. It starts off with a very early fixture, which will be Galatasaray at Rams Park, Istanbul, entertaining Liverpool. If we remember very well, Liverpool fans, of course, you'll remember that we lost against these guys and the game ended 1-0. Difficult game, and if we were to learn anything from that game in preparation to the one that's coming tomorrow, we'd know how difficult these guys were. After we considered that goal, of course, a penalty, courtesy to Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen, it was difficult. They were just defending all throughout the game. And if we were to learn anything from that game, it'll be that we don't need to be clumsy. When we create chances, we have to bury them. These guys are different at home. At Rams Park, they are different. In 46 games, they have managed only 2 losses. 33 wins and 11 draws. So you can see how difficult it is for them to lose there. So tomorrow when we get there, we have a job to do. Firstly and foremost, of course, it's that we lost against them 1-0. So we're going to have to change that tide. We're definitely going to have to win tomorrow. And if that does not happen, right, the least or the most important thing they can get themselves would be a draw. Because I don't see us losing that game. There's no way we're supposed to be losing that game. Not after that defeat that we got against them. And you would only imagine the banter that flew on social media with the squad that we had. Losing to them like that was just not it. So tomorrow we have to make sure that we do things differently. I do believe that we will. I do believe that we will, because we understand that we have performed really poorly in the league this season. Of course, we are out of the Carabao Cup. The only thing that remains right now would be, of course, the FA Cup and the Champions League. And the FA Cup will be challenging Manchester City. We'll be starting away at the Etihad. Mind you, we have lost twice to Manchester City in the league. So do you see where I'm going? It's going to be difficult. It's yet another difficult task, but we have to make sure that we give it our all, just so we can, feel better. You know what I mean? Because, yes, it has been a terrible season for us. And I feel like the best thing to do is just wipe ourselves with a trophy at least. Wipe the tears with a trophy at least. And, of course, this hunt for a Champions League trophy starts tomorrow. Galatasaray are not really an easy team to play against. We saw them, against Juve. A very a big team in Inter and Europe, of course, but they beat them 5. What was the score at home? I forgot the score at home against Juve, but it was a very good score. Might have been 5-2 if I'm not mistaken. Might have been 5-2. That they went away to Juve as well. Difficult, but somehow they managed to get a goal in the extra time. So these guys are not only good playing as a unit, they also have the stamina. They also know how to just hold it in. Once they get an opportunity, they are going to score you. And that's something that we're going to have to work on tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, when that whistle is blown, we are going to need to be mentally fortified. We are going to have to defend really well as a unit too. No conceding, because if we concede, best believe it's going to be difficult for us to score a goal, right? We know how difficult it has been for us this season. Slot has been talking about it ever since the beginning of the season. As annoying as it is just there. The proof is in the pudding. We fail miserably against teams that low block, and this Galatasaray team know how to do that. So we're going to have to work on that. The second game, of course, will be Newcastle. Yet another great game to behold, right? Yet another great game to behold. If memory serves, of course, they lost 2-1 at St. James against this Barcelona side. Looks like they have a chance now to rectify that, because Barcelona will be going to Newcastle again. Will it end 2-1 in favor of Newcastle this time? I'd like to imagine the Magpies will be hoping that, of course, they are the ones that will come out of that game as winners. And maybe when they go to the Camp Nou, they may go with an advantage of some sort. It's going to be a very, interesting game. And they also, like us, are having a terrible season. And they're probably just, looking at something like a Champions League. Oh, it might be far-fetched. But, they're just going to give it their all. They are just going to give it their all. And it starts off tomorrow with a very difficult team. A team that is, an elite in Europe. And that is Barcelona. If Newcastle are to be a big team that they claim they want to be, This is where it starts. You have to fight against the big boys and you have to come out tops, and they have a chance of doing that tomorrow. Then, of course, we have Atalanta versus Bayern. We saw how Atalanta performed against Dortmund. Usually, Dortmund are there, during these difficult stages until maybe the semi-finals. But this time around, they went out, in the playoffs. So Atalanta are there. They are there not by luck. They are there because they deserve it. They are there because they know how to play as a unit. And if Bayern Munich, a team that has been splendid this season, are not careful, they may just see themselves picking their bags and going back home. Atletico versus Tottenham Hotspurs. I don't think this one needs any hard thought on it. It would have been an interesting game had Thomas Frank been there. But, I mean, it's Atletico Madrid. They are blowing hot and cold air too. Looking at how they made it out, you'd think against Tottenham Hotspurs, they will manage a win. Tottenham are really not themselves in the league. Currently 16th, if I'm not mistaken, 17th. And another club that also has all its eggs in one basket, and that basket is the Champions League. This is the only way they can be able to, appease or apologize to their fans for a terrible domestic campaign that they've had this season. Just like last season, they did the same thing, but they went on to win the Europa League. And this season, what they have is the Champions League. Will they be able to do it? I don't know. They might be, because the Champions League Spurs and the Premier League Spurs are completely different teams, and Igor Togo hasn't really been doing well. In his first 3 games, he has lost all of them. So I don't know if tomorrow he'll manage a win, especially since they'll be away in Spain. They might be able to do it at the Wanda Metropolitano or not, but whatever happens, if they lose the game, it just has to be as narrow as possible so that when they get to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, they may be able to change the tides. And, it's possible, it's possible. And the favorites, of course, will be Arsenal. They'll be traveling to Germany at the Bayer Leverkusen Stadium. And if you look at the draw, of course, the Champions League draw, you'd realize that Arsenal actually has a very easier way out. I see them actually making it to the final because all the teams that they are to play with aren't really that difficult. It is on the other side that's where, big teams are just all packed in. So Arsenal actually have a chance and a half to make it to the final and actually lift the trophy. Just depends on really who makes it out. And this will actually be a Wednesday fixture. It starts off with Bayer Leverkusen against Arsenal, an early fixture as well. Later on in the night, it will be a PSG versus Chelsea. There's a chance here for PSG to rectify the errors. If you guys remember very well, Chelsea are the ones that won the Club World Cup final, which was held here in the States. And Chelsea managed to beat them 3-0. PSG at this point in time, they just want revenge, right? They want revenge against this Chelsea side. And unfortunately, Maresca is not there, and this is a manager whom, had he been there, I would have definitely voted for Chelsea to create an upset. But unfortunately, Rafinha, he hasn't really given me much to work with. I've seen him play against Arsenal. In 3 games, he's lost all of them. So it looks like with big games, Rafinha isn't really that good. Now playing against someone who is elite in this type of competition, which is Luis Enrique, do I see him beating him, especially at home? I don't see that. I don't see that. I see PSG winning here. But I still open that platform for Chelsea to shock me. I still open that platform for them to shock me. If there's any team really that can be able to do that, it definitely is this Chelsea side. I mean, they've got the players and they're winners. They know how to play these tournaments. If anything, the past 2 seasons, that's what we have seen. Last season, they were poor in the league, but they went on to win the competition which they were in, the Conference League, and they also came on to win the Club World Cup. So this is a team that knows how to play these competitions. Will they be able? But unfortunately, of course, they have a different manager now, so we don't know what's what. We will see on Wednesday against Chelsea. Then obviously a game that everybody expects. Unfortunately, it comes early. These type of games are ones that we expect in the quarterfinals, in the semifinals, and in the finals. But to our treat, we have it in the last 16. It will be Real Madrid. They start at home against Manchester City. Real Madrid haven't really been good this season. Let's not lie. They are terrible. But for whatever reason, the Champions League is their home. This is a competition in which you are not supposed to think less of them. It's just made for them. They are tailor-made for this competition. So they'll be playing against Manchester City, familiar foes. And they start off at home. They have an advantage here. If they win, then they go to England, to the Etihad with, an advantage and an opportunity to just defend for their lives and come out tops. If they don't, Manchester City as well is a team that has finally found its rhythm. They're now winning games. Of course, they drew against Nottingham Forest in the this past weekend, and they can just get it. They can just get it. They are favorites, Manchester City. Going into that game, they are favorites to come out tops. But I am also vouching for Real Madrid to cause an upset, because with Real Madrid, if you know, especially at the Bernabeu, it's not really about them playing good, like having a consistent run on all domestic competitions which they're in. They're just a club that just loves the Champions League, right? And I don't think we understand that enough. This is a team that has 16 Champions Leagues, and the closest to them is AC Milan with 7. So you see, there's a 9-point gap there, a 9-point gap of trophies. So this is their competition. So tomorrow they may cause an upset. And lest we forget, Manchester City actually beat Madrid earlier on in the Champions League campaign. They beat them 2-1. They beat them 2-1. So, well, tomorrow, Wednesday, anything is really, 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 really possible. And of course, the last game would be Bordeaux, a team that has managed so many wins at home this season. They have beat Atletico Madrid. They have beat Manchester City. They have beat Juventus as well, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, it's not Juventus. It's Inter Milan. They've beat Inter Milan. Actually, in fact, they're the ones that took Inter Milan out. So this is a team that is capable. Now they're playing against Sporting, which I think Bordeaux will do extremely well. I think they'll do extremely well. I think this was a better four for them, because if they win here, then they get closer. And as closer as they edge, the easier it is for them. You know what I mean? So these are the games that we hope to watch, which is tomorrow and Wednesday. So much is going to happen from this game. You, as a viewer, I would like it if you were to tell me which game you are looking forward to watching, and your prediction to the score. Which team do you think will go all the way? Which team do you think will win? Especially when you look at games like Newcastle versus Barcelona, when you look at Real Madrid versus Manchester City, PSG versus Chelsea. Those are very interesting matchups, So thank you guys for watching until thus far. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also share in your comments on the comment section. See you again soon.